Hi and welcome back to the channel. We're still in the garage and we're still working on the kitchen. So in the last video I showed you how I was making stuff and how I got to where I was, but I didn't explain really why I had to change the kitchen yet again. So it's dead simple. Technology's changed yet again. So in the original kitchen we had a cooker, a Thetford XXX, and we found that we weren't really using it. And we also had a microwave, and we found we weren't using that as much as we expected. So we decided to get rid of the Thetford, and we wanted all the gas out of the cab anyway, out of the living area, due to something that I think happened that made Riley ill. So we got rid of the gas for the fridge, gas for the cooker, and we stripped all that out. The only gas we have now is for an outside barbecue point and our water heater. Feel much safer and happier having it that way. We also looked at the market and what was going on with appliances, and we realised that air fryers, which we use daily at home ourselves, you know, our big ovens, nigh on redundant now, we use it very occasionally, but we found ourselves like a lot of other people using air fryers. So we bought an air frying oven, and in the van we had an air frying oven and we had a microwave. And technology moved on again. So we ended up buying a microwaving, grilling, air frying oven. And that was the reason for the change. So we walked into Lidl and that was on sale for 120 quid, 125 quid, something like that. And it's got all the bits in it. It grills, it microwaves, and it's an air frying oven. So I wanted that. I saw it, but unfortunately it's a little bit wider than what we had in. And there you have the specs. So our system will power that no problem at all. I'm hoping this is the last time we change this kitchen. I hope technology isn't going to move on again, but in the last, when did we build this? Wow, yeah. The last 5 years, we've had 3 kitchen designs. And one of our crazy designs was, let's do away with the sink. And we managed for a year, but we missed it. So by putting a sink back in, we're going to lose a little bit of space. But the fact we've taken the microwave out is going to give us a little bit of space back as well. So we need to build today a space-saving drawer that will go around the waste trap for the sink. So there you have it, a nice deep black sink. It's like a black chrome. It's the only way I can describe it really. I don't know how else to describe it, but I like it. That's going to be an under sink, so that's lowered down just a little bit. So when we glue the worktop on, we'll be gluing it directly onto there and the timber as well. This is the new kitchen unit I've just made. So it is quite rudimentary, and rather than bore you with how I built it, if you go way back, I'll put a link up here and you'll see how I built the first ones. Now I stick with this design because it's lightweight and it is so easy to make. You know, you can't really go wrong. But this is going to be our cutlery drawer. It's a little bit stiff. That's just the newness. But this is the bottom one. So just a little push. I don't want to push it too hard because I've got all that weight in there. And we just sat on the other unit using that as a table. But yeah, little push, pops open. It's a nice deep drawer. That's how deep it is. I'm looking for something we can use as a reference. Everybody knows how big that is, and that is from Lidl. That's just some washing up powder, some tabs, sorry. So yeah, nice and easy, hooks in. So that's the basis of it. Now the microwave is retained. To get the microwave out, you have to take the top drawer out, and then you just lift it up and pull it. So previously I've had them screwed in, and if you need to get to the back quickly, a bit of a palaver. So what I've done this time is basically just open that door, a couple of clips on the side here. They release that. One up, one down. Yeah, there you go. And then you can lift the drawer out, pull the drawer away, drop the microwave in, lift it out, whatever you want to do. Then you can get at the plug and everything. So if it breaks, you can replace it without ripping half your kitchen apart. So yeah, cheap and cheerful. It just needs painted black. We paint it black to shadow everything out. So when we trim it up, it's nothing shines through. So that is it. And like I say, it is very basic. It is just a couple of lats and square frame at the top, square shelf, and then screw everything together. And we fasten it to the floor at the front, and we use them rails at the back that I've just showed you, and the other one over there, we secure everything to the back of the van. And there you have it, the finished item, all nicely painted, all blacked in. So yeah, and that's the other one, touched up, and there's a few marks on that one. But yeah, all ready to go in. So we can start putting that in tomorrow morning. Morning you lot, it's Saturday and it's time to get this final drawer made and hopefully get things done. So this drawer is going to be U-shaped to go around the trap on the sink. A lot of space, don't want to waste it. So what I've thought is I'll make a U-shape, it'll work out alright. I've got all them old drawers. These are from previous designs. So we're on kitchen 3 now, and hopefully this is the final kitchen. So I reckon one of them will be good enough to do what we need it to do. So let's make a start. Oops. We've hit something. Still got a screw in there. Thought I got rid of all them. Absolutely brilliant, what we need. Perfect. Right, time to try and save this piece. So I'm going to share with you a product that I've been using. It's in this video. It is the Work Pro circular saw. It's a 20 volt battery operated circular saw. It is handy, it is real convenient, and it's made me put some of my tools away. Battery comes with a level indicator on it. I've never charged that in the last 2 months, so I've been using it regular. I've had this for 4 months. It's got a wood blade in there. It's got an angle gauge on the front, so you can set the pitch. It's got a depth gauge on the side. Comes with a laser, and like I say, it's really handy to use. It's very quiet, and it comes with some other spare parts as well. So you get a charger for the battery. You get a parallel gauge. You get the toolkit. All it needs is an Allen key, Hoover attachment, and 2 spare blades. You've got a diamond tip blade there, and you've got a wooden plastic blade as well. And it comes with a handy little bag that has lots of compartments on it, and it's full of dust because I have been using it. But if you're interested, I'll put a link below. It's not a hard sell. I couldn't give a shit if you bought one, but they are good. Hasn't done bad there. Just handy for these little jobs where you don't need to get out all your toys just to do a little mod. Right, that's the gap where it's meant to go in. We'll get all this connected up now. You see that? I don't know why it's spun around there. Hello. What we'll do is we'll get all this connected up. We'll get the trap on it, and we'll see what sort of gap we have below the bottom. I don't think we're going to have any gap here now, so I think we're going to have to maybe just do a little horseshoe, so when it slides in and out it misses. But then we'll just make up pockets down each side, and that should keep us right. I've just been going around with a pencil off the bowl, just trying to make a bit of a mark. So there we have two cuts, well sorry, two lines going up, and it just so happens that masking tape is near enough the size that we wanted, so we've used that to create the arch at the top. Job's a good one. So we have it all cut out. I've left the corners in there just to keep a bit of strength. But yeah, we've lined it now with some timber the same height. These are just shelves from Wickes. I bought them years ago. And you know, they were cheap as chips back then. And we all know the price of wood is crazy at the minute, so I'm just using what I've got lying around. There you have it. And it fits snugly. So we haven't lost that much of the drawer really. Maybe a fifth. So no wasted space. Got the hinges in there, the runners. Not the hinges, the runners. Just to make sure the gap's perfect, and when you look at that, I've got that one in upside down. When you look at that, that is absolutely bang on. Couldn't ask for a better fit. So just a quick run through of how I mount my hinges. So that piece there, that little tab goes to the front, and basically I find 3 points where I can actually get screws in, and then I have a spacer. Let me show you this. And I want that much gap underneath. So that's around about 2 mil. So I want that underneath. So I just set it up to that, and I just slide it along, checking it as we go. And as you can see, that's a little bit out there. So I need to adjust that. Adjusted that screw, and that looks pretty good now, all the way along. So we'll tighten everything up now. The secret is just to make little adjustments and check as you go along as you're setting it up. So nice even gap all the way through, and look at that. So we've got push to release, and we also put a catch on with them as well. There you go, full draw, accessible from in the cab, in the living area, not cab. Now we've got all the drawers built and set in. It's just a matter of putting the faces on them. That's pretty straightforward. So the top edge is where the worktop's going to be. So there's a 2 mil gap there. This is a blank. I know it's got a button on it, but I just wanted to keep it all looking symmetrical. So we've clamped through where the door handle goes onto the back piece, and we're just lining everything up. The bottom drawer needs to come out ever so slightly, and just needs a little tweak, a little twist. All up. These are 3 mil spacers, both sides, clamped up nice and tight. And like I say, this is a blank, so I want to get all these set up before I put the sink in, and then there's no pissing about. So all we'll do is put 2 screws in that side, 2 screws in that side, and then we'll try and get 1 or 2 in the middle and be coming at an angle. Happy days. So along with the rails that we put in that are pushed to open. We also put a latch on, and that's the batten we've put in. I need to paint the back of it. The latches are from Redesign. You can see there, see it a bit clearer now. But look at all the space we've managed to save. There you have it. Everything is starting to come together, and we just need to now put the sink in there, put the oven in there, and put the worktop in and pipe everything up. But that's for another video. I'm done for today. But thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been beneficial, wasting 20 minutes watching me prattle on about my van. But yeah, we're doing well with the ticket sales as well, by the way. The spring crafty camp out in Lawton, there's about 10 places left at that. The Van Life Decadence spring camp out in May, we have sold coming up to 60 tickets now, so we've broke even. Everything after that's all good, so we are definitely in for a fun-filled weekend, and I'm so looking forward to that. The comedians are looking forward to it, the acts are looking forward to it, but we're still looking, we still have slots for the open mic sets. If you know anyone who wants to share their talent with us, tell them to give me a shout, and we'll sort them out. We'll put them on somewhere. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be, it's one of my bucket list things, putting a comedy night on. I love comedy shows. I love, wherever we go, we try and fit in a comedy show. But yeah, I just love them. I love being entertained by people. I love being roasted by people as well. So it's all good fun. Yeah, you're going to have a great weekend. The dog show is coming together. We've got Neil and Emma from Urban Van Life. They're going to do the judging for us. We've got some trophies, or plaques. We'll call them plaques. We've got some plaques being made as we speak, and we're going to have a couple of prizes as well. But yeah, it's going to be a brilliant weekend. Really looking forward to it. And it's a bank holiday weekend, so you can stay from Friday to Monday. Have to be off site Monday by about lunchtime, and you can come Thursday if you want. It's an extra 20 quid on the gate, cash only. We haven't got the facility to take money. I could maybe put something online, but that money there helps us pay for stuff on site as well, if you know what I mean. Just like vendors and all the little bits that we don't account for in the planning, the incidentals, you know, stuff, people running out of stuff, and just all them little things. It gives us a bit of a float on the gate, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. Any of the money that is left over will be donated to a charity. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to this. So ready for it as well. It's been a crap winter. Anyway, stop waffling, Sam, and we'll see you later. Take care. Why not head over to our website, thecraftyblinders.co.uk, where you can find out a little bit more about us and the offers we have on. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok to keep up to date with what we're up to.